Astronomers report the detection of large amounts of methane escaping from the Saturn, Moon, and Enceladus. These amounts indicate the presence of microbial life in its ocean beneath its ice, but could also be explained by yet unknown sources of methane. According to the analysis, the measurements would be consistent with habitable hydrothermal vents in its ocean, with the likeliness of them being inhabited, depending on the probability of life emerging on Enceladus. Biologists report that they have reawoken deloid rotifers, frozen for circa 24,000 years in the Siberian permafrost. The microscopic multicellular animals could still continuously reproduce via cloning themselves in the laboratory. Their capabilities of shielding their cells and organs from the environment and surviving long cryogenic preservation are of large interest to scientists. Before these findings, the only other animals known to survive for this long were roundworms, which were recovered after being frozen for 42,000 years.
Terminal is almost ready.
Researchers report the development of an alternative to plastic. The plant proteins-based biodegradable packaging is similar to spider silk on the molecular level. They achieved this by researching and mimicking one of the key ways that gives spider silk its characteristic strength. In specific, they made plant proteins self-assemble in a mixture in a controlled way to form a water-insoluble film. Biologists report that DNA polymerases, long thought to only transcribe DNA into DNA or RNA, can also write RNA segments into DNA. DNA polymerases are proteins that play a major role in duplicating DNA. In specific, they read existing DNA strands to create two new strands, adding the second nucleotide to every base pair unit. They are also involved in repairing damaged DNA. The scientists discovered that the polymerase theta promotes DNA repair using templates of RNA, which has large implications for many fields of biology, such as medicine and synthetic biology. The first three-person crew is sent to the Chinese space station Tiangong, which to date consists of the first and core module Tiahe. The station is planned to be fully assembled by 2022 and be used for research and development for about 15 years. Researchers present the world's first quality standards meeting compact quantum computer, which fits inside two standard server racks. It contained up to 24 fully entangled qubits, with researchers working on full entanglements of all 50 qubits. Quantum computers could be used for a range of calculation problems that entirely conventional computers can't solve, or can't solve as well, such as various inquiries in chemistry, biology, and materials science. Astronomers identify over 1,700 star systems within 326 light-years that have or had a vantage point from which probes or civilizations could detect Earth as an exoplanet moving in front of the Sun since the beginnings of human civilization about 5,000 years ago. Chinese archaeologists report the discovery of a skull of what could be an unknown species of early humans, which they call Dragon Man. The unusually large skull was first discovered by a citizen in 1933, was retrieved via inheritance in 2018, and dates back to at least 146,000 years ago. Their analysis suggests the fossils belong to a group closely related to to Homo sapiens, possibly even closer than the Neanderthals. Scientists report that COVID-19 caused substantial changes to blood cells, such as increased cell size. In many cases, these changes persisted for months after hospital discharge. A study finds that over half of about 250 home-isolated young patients infected with COVID-19 still had symptoms after 6 months, such as fatigue. Research about what has been called long COVID syndrome began in September 2020 and continues. Scientists report that combinations of forms of prior infection and vaccination synergize to extraordinarily large immune responses against COVID-19. A Japanese tech company achieves quantum communication across a world record distance of 600 kilometers with optical fiber. A trial of infecting mosquitoes with a genus of bacteria reduced dengue fever cases by 77% and hospitalizations by 86% in an Indonesian city. Astronomers report evidence that the largest structures in the universe, filaments of galaxies, are spinning. Scientists complement extensive evidence that cosmetics are widely designed with formulations and disposals that are known to be harmful to human health and ecosystems, often containing PFAS. Scientists report the discovery of a comet that will pass as close as Saturn in 2031 and could be the largest detected so far, with its size being estimated to be between 100 and 200 kilometers. The first comprehensive analysis of a Nesher-Ramla Homo individual, dated to about 130,000 years ago, suggests an unrecognized group of hominins may have existed and, via admixture with Neanderthals, was involved in the evolution of Homo in Europe and East Asia. The first small clinical trial of CRISPR gene editing, in which a CRISPR gene editing therapeutic is injected in vivo into the bloodstream of humans, concludes with promising results. Scientists publish calculations of water activity levels in Venusian clouds based on data from space probes, concluding these to be 2 magnitudes too low at the examined places for a natural microbiotic explanation for potentially detected phosphine on Venus. Researchers report the development of embedded biosensors for pathogenic signatures, such as of SARS-CoV-2, that are wearable. They also built a prototype of a face mask with integrated testing. A study concludes that public services are associated with higher human need satisfaction and lower energy requirements, while contemporary forms of economic growth are linked with the opposite. Authors find that the contemporary economic system is fundamentally misaligned with goals of sustainable development, and that, to date, no nation can provide decent living standards at sustainable levels of energy and resource use. They provide analysis about factors in social provisioning and recommend improving public services and beneficial provisioning factors. Scientists report that solar energy-driven production of microbial foods from direct air capture substantially outperforms agricultural cultivation of staple crops in terms of land use. Growing such food from air yielded 10 times more protein and at least twice the calories than growing soybeans with the same amount of land. A study rules out a volcanic cause of the Younger Dryas climate shift about 13,000 years ago due to new dating that reveals a gap of about 200 years between the shift onset and the Lacher See volcano eruption. This gives more weight to the theory of an impact initially causing the shift.